we are covering the Retirement Savings Contributions Credit, commonly tested as the Savers Credit. This is a non-refundable credit designed to incentivize low to moderate income taxpayers to save for retirement. The exam will test your ability to determine eligibility, calculate the credit, and identify its limits. To be eligible, a taxpayer must be at least 18 years old, not claimed as a dependent on someone else's return, and not a full-time student for 5 or more calendar months during the year. These are critical first checkpoints on any exam question. The calculation itself has 3 distinct steps that you must master. First, determine the amount of qualifying contributions. This includes contributions to traditional and Roth IRAs, as well as elective deferrals to plans like a 401k or 403b. The exam trap here is the limit. The calculation is based on the first $2,000 of contributions for an individual, or the first $4,000 for a married couple filing jointly. If a single person contributes $5,000, you only use $2,000 for the credit calculation. Second, you must find the applicable credit percentage, which is driven entirely by the taxpayer's adjusted gross income and filing status. The percentages are 50, 20, or 10%. For the 2023 tax year, a married couple with AGI up to $43,500 gets the top 50% rate. A head of household filer gets that same 50% rate for AGI up to $32,625. The brackets are different for each filing status, so you must pay close attention to the details provided in the exam scenario. Let's walk through an exam-style example. Maria is a single filer with an AGI of $21,000. She contributed $3,000 to her traditional IRA. First, we check eligibility. She is over 18, not a dependent, and not a student. She is eligible. Second, we determine her qualifying contribution for the credit. Although she contributed $3,000, we can only use the first $2,000. Third, we find her credit rate. With an AGI of $21,000 as a single filer, she falls into the 50% bracket. The credit is 50% of $2,000, which equals $1,000. This is the maximum credit for a single individual. A major trap the exam loves to use involves distributions. A taxpayer's qualifying contributions must be reduced by any retirement distributions they received during the current year, the 2 preceding years, and the period after the end of the year but before the due date of the return. For instance, if Maria in our example had taken a $500 hardship distribution from her 401k last year, her $2,000 qualifying contribution would be reduced by that $500, leaving only $1,500 for the credit calculation. Her credit would then be 50% of $1,500 or $750. Here is a phrase to help you remember the key limits. $2,000 per person, 4 for a pair. The max credit is half if the AGI is fair. This reminds you of the contribution base for the calculation. $2,000 for one person and 4 for a joint return. And that the maximum possible credit is half that amount, or $1,000 and $2,000 respectively, which you get with the 50% rate. Remember to always check Form 8880 on the exam, as it is the source document for claiming this valuable but heavily tested, non-refundable credit.